Actually, to be fair, we're quite late in the process of this for there to be protests. We knew this was happening as soon as they were given the games. Why weren't the protests happening then?
Well, I think it's because if you go over to Qatar and protest, you can be beheaded.
Yeah, but at least he's done it now. But you're right. I mean, look, this is the thing. We never should have been having football in the first place. Very much for these issues. But Peter Tatchell staged a protest. The authorities have said that he wasn't arrested, but there's a claim that he was arrested and detained for 49 minutes. I think there's an interesting thing that's happening. All of the accusations are that Qatar, with its terrible human rights record and rules, are trying to sports wash their reputation. And it's worth thinking that it's just not working. Yeah. Every single story we're seeing is about how bad they are. Every single time we talk about it, you're being reminded, oh, no, that's that place that has these terrible rules in it.
It's a kind of Streisand effect, isn't it? You know that one where famously when you try and suppress a story, it draws more attention to it, essentially, you know. And they have, I mean, you're right. I think they've tried to... like sweep away their record on human rights, and in fact that is exactly what everyone has been taught. Even though they've hired David Beckham as their ambassador,
but that's why you also, I mean, the 49 minutes worth of detention ends with a handshake. Apparently, I think they know that they are looking really bad. Yeah. So actually, this is a good time to go over there and do a protest because they probably won't behead you. They are worried about the PR. Yeah. Bit of a risk to take.
But the reality of the World Cup being in Qatar is that, you know, it's going to make billions of pounds and, you know, loads of fans are going to go over there. All the football players are going to go over there. So nothing really, I mean, this gets talked about in the papers. Nothing really changes.
Are you confident about that, the fans going there and the money? I mean, the money, I assume, is from the licensing anyway. That's probably a done deal, right?
Yeah, no, fans are still going over there. Yeah. I mean, there's not going to be any alcohol or, you know, certain, you know, lascivious behaviour allowed. But, you know, they're still going to go and watch football because people are idiots. But, yeah, I mean, what we're seeing is football, you know, so much in this country really follows they have pride flags everywhere, rainbow laces, they take the knee. But then when it comes to the actual reality of it, they're happy to go to Qatar. They'll take the knee in Qatar on the actual, you know, death sites of slaves. Yeah. And that's, you know, I just can't get my head around it. I don't know why people are so incensed about slavery that happened 400 years ago, but they can't, you know, they can't do anything about, they won't say anything about slavery that's happening right now that they're complicit in.
It's a tricky one. I would, you know, to their defence, I would say if you're a young sportsman, you're a young footballer, you're not going to see that many World Cups. It's very difficult for them to say, sorry, you know, I have my beliefs and this is difficult.
No, that's no defence whatsoever. That's like, you know, no, like you can't support, if you're going to, or do that, but then don't, when you're playing Premiership football, don't pretend that you're like, you know, oh, we're waving the flag for pride or we're taking the knee for Black Lives Matter, because you're not. You're just doing that because it's politically expedient for you to do it in this country because we've already fixed those problems.
There's a lot of truth to that. And it has to be said, the Premier League now, I mean, it's phenomenally awash with money to the extent that Europe is trying to create a Super League in order to balance things out. A lot of that money is dirty in this country as well. A lot of it comes from, you know, usually oil-rich states in the Middle East and so on. And that's, you know, it's very hard if you're a professional footballer now to avoid some sort of taint. Yeah. You think?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm not.
Very wise.